man, wait, are you saying funky music on night number one?
What?
Did we just start?
Did we just start?
Oh, man.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge. As the Nuggets get an opening night win, not just an opening night win, a banner night win, a ring night win, and against who? The freshly conversed Los Angeles Lakers. Freshly conversed, revamped.
Does it mean they were wearing Converse?
Somehow they got worse. Denver gets the win 119-107. Starting lineup through a haymaker. Rotation was interesting. The ring was interesting. The atmosphere was... This show might be 2 hours long. To help me with it, I brought around some friends over here feeling himself a little too much. Brennan Vogt.
A little too much.
I mean, the right amount.
No such thing tonight. Fellas, we're one night in and we are feasting.
We are
feasting.
I'm stuffed.
I'm going to skip Thanksgiving this year.
I think I might have to skip
I'm
it as
fine.
well. Seated to my right, a rushing nesting doll.
Russian
nesting doll of Serbian
Yeah,
fandom.
careful. Yeah, that's important.
Lot to unpack there. Like so many,
take off that and there's a whole nother
so
Serbia.
many Serbian nesting dolls. So much to unpack. What a night, fellas! I feel like we've never left, and I feel like we've never been here at the same time. I am full, and I'm starving at the same time. I don't know what to do with myself except for tweet at Lakers fans. Let's go.
Fresh off of his hunt, what was he hunting? The Lakers. It's Superstar Dad.
I mean, who's your daddy? Who is
Don,
your daddy?
his name's Don Weedham.
Well,
You weren't asking me, sorry.
Way too literal there. Way too literal. Guys, there was a lot of ways this game. It felt like there were a lot of ways this game could have gone. You think like best case scenario, worst case scenario. What are the options?
That was the best case.
That's what was to the best case scenario, man. It really was.
In so many ways.
In a lot
It
of
definitely
ways.
wasn't the worst case scenario.
It definitely wasn't the
I'll tell you
worst
that.
case, and honestly, maybe I have I could pick nits maybe here or there, but outside of that, man, we were feasting. Let's get into the fast breakdown. So if you missed the game, you're gonna who missed this game? I mean, come on, what did I say?
First off, just to start off, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Second of all, you know what? We just want to relive the glory. First note, right out of the package, great rhythm and transition for the Nuggets. The first quarter was a transition quarter.
Oh.
Denver gets stops, they go on the break, and they were feasting. Jokic was cooking. Man, all of our things about, I feel like Jokic's focused this year. I feel like he has this edge to him. Immediately evident. He was feasting, going right at Anthony Davis.
Yep.
Reggie Jackson, the first sub off the bench, not a surprise. Peyton Watson, the second sub, kind of a surprise for me. That's one of the storylines. 29-18 when the bench came in. So the starters plus 11 immediately. Just absolute haymaker to start the game. Ugly half-court offense, but great half-court defense for the bench. That's my note in the first quarter.
Agree.
Nuggets are up 34-20 thanks to Reggie hitting 3 late in the
Big
quarter.
government. Nice
Big
bailout.
government, and it just felt like a party at Ball Arena. Lakers had a weird game plan tonight. Second quarter, they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get into Jamal Murray's head, get physical. Murray's not a rookie. Murray's not a young player.
What did he just do a few months ago?
Yeah, he won the NBA championship. They get up 4 fouls in 2 minutes trying to pester Jamal. And I'm telling you, I don't know if the cameras caught this. Jamal, after the second foul, was like, okay, that's what you're going to do?
Yep.
Okay.
He was
just
laughing.
drew 2 more fouls and was like, yeah, that's stupid, you guys. What do you think I am? I'm an
Who you
NBA
thought
champion.
I is?
Yeah.
I am.
Lakers did claw back, though, behind Anthony Davis being aggressive. He was aggressive. He also shot some fadeaways that were whatever. But he hit a couple
doesn't
of them.
usually fade away.
Yeah, he doesn't usually. Jokic, they go small ball, though. Here's an interesting thing. They go small ball to end the half. Jokic missed 3 bunnies against tiny kings.
Did you guys feel like
3
I'll
bunnies
let you
against bunnies.
cook? But did you guys feel like he was maybe looking for some foul calls down the end of the
course,
half?
yeah.
I thought
Needs
so.
them.
Yeah.
He might need them, but nonetheless, 63-54 Nuggets. It almost felt going into the half, though, like Nuggets had lost a little momentum. They were spanking them right before those last few minutes. Lakers immediately cut it to 5. I was still driving back from the arena. I don't even know what happened. All I know is listening, Malone called a rage timeout 1 minute into the second half, and you were a little nervous. But guess what? Out of the timeout, the Nuggets woke up, pushed it back to 10. Michael Porter could not hit his threes tonight. This could have been a 40-point win tonight if Michael Porter would have connected on those threes. It was a little bit ugly in that third quarter, but the Nuggets maintained a lead thanks to Aaron Gordon playing absolute bully ball. His third quarter was unbelievable. Can't wait to talk about AG. And then the Jokic KCP with the bench players, Christian Braun, Peyton, and Reggie, they made a nice run. They actually pushed it up to like 15.
Yep.
They actually looked great.
Yep.
But back-to-back turnovers got the Lakers back into it. So it almost like dampened what could have been an incredible moment. I want to talk about that lineup later. 87-75 when Jokic checked out with a minute 40 left. And I got nervous, like, hey, this is a classic. You got to survive for 1 minute 40. The Lakers did go on a 5-0 run, so it's 87-80 going into the fourth. LeBron, the Lakers were targeting Reggie Jackson. This is noteworthy. We're going to talk about that. They cut it a little bit. Jokic checked in 94-90, just a 4-point game. And guess what he did?
What'd he do?
He knocked down a 3. He made a nice little run. He made some passes. He set the table. Nuggets up 11. Timeout. All right, let's bring the starters back in. The Lakers say, okay, it's 11 points. We got to make our run. And the Nuggets laughed and said, bro, it's our starting lineup. You think you're going to make a run against this? Nuggets smacked the hell out of them to close this game with their starters. I want to look at the game log. It was bucket every time.
Yeah, dude.
And it was a stop like, I don't know, 6 out of 8 times.
Yeah.
It was a knockout punch for that starting lineup.
It looked a lot like the
Playoffs?
Western Conference Finals,
It
didn't
looked
it?
a lot like
Looked
that.
an awful lot
and
like
I'm
that.
telling you, this went from 94-90 to a 17-point game in the blink of an eye. Nugget starters were unbelievable. All right, that was the game. Also, there was a ring ceremony. There was banner night. We'll get to that later.
Yeah,
We will talk about those things tonight because they were very cool. Dev, start us off. What's your big takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is that the rest of the NBA should be fucking terrified. If that's the yoke that we're going to get every single night,
It
is.
We've seen this. We've seen the triple doubles. We've seen him dominate against defensive player of the year type of people. But for him to come out the year 22 shots on opening night, that's going to be a long year for anybody that has to go against him. I love aggressive yoke.
Yeah. Yoke was really aggressive. He had the eye of the Joker tonight. Here's what I love. Here's what I love about Yoke. You could look at Anthony Davis tonight and say he played well. You could do that. You could say, okay, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He only shot 6 of 17. If you just looked at the box score, that looks like a C game.
A decent game.
But I'm telling you, Yoke treats Anthony Davis like he's Rashawn Holmes or something, where he's like, oh, if it's me versus you, then you can have your stats, but we're going to win by 20. And that's exactly what happened tonight. And it's unbelievable.
Yeah, the Nuggets starters were so dominant in this game.
Is this your big takeaway?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
This is a big takeaway starting right now. The Nuggets starters were so dominant in this game.
Fact.
Like, they, anytime that the Lakers made a serious run is because LeBron James was playing against the Nuggets bench. Like that was their that was their big strategy. It was like we have to split up AD and LeBron. It's not effective anyway. And the only way that LeBron James has the ability to be as dominant as he has been in his career is if it comes against Reggie Jackson and Peyton Watson, first year, second year players. It got like a little bit nervous for a while, but then when I looked, I'm like, oh right, the starters are coming back in, and then I was immediately calm. I immediately knew that there was no chance that the Nuggets were going to let this one slip. They are so ready for this season. It is so beautiful, and that even without the contributions, the normal contributions of one Michael Porter Jr., they still were dominant in every way you hoped they would be.
Yeah. The LeBron point's an interesting one. I will say this. I was impressed with LeBron in the playoffs last year, and I was impressed with him tonight. You're right that he does stagger and go against those weak lineups, and that is part of it. But also, I'm just so unimpressed with Anthony Davis, despite all the good stuff he does. So much shying away from things like, oh, I'm going to shoot this, I'm going to try to fall down, I'm going to try to do this.
The call he got on Yoke where he faded away, how do you not just finish that?
Yeah.
But he faded away.
And part of me watched LeBron tonight, and I was like, LeBron's still the best player on the... They're all... In all the rankings, they're like 8, 9, 9, 10 or whatever right next to each other. I'm like, I don't know. I watch this team and I go, one of these guys is an all-timer, and one of these guys to me is just like trying to get his stats to look good while he loses by 15.
I really think the only real difference in LeBron's game these days is just that he can't do it for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I think he still looks the same for spurts, but we saw it in the Western Conference Finals. It's a big part of this matchup in the last 5 games. He can be A+, but can he be A+ long enough? And
No.
You know, they
can't.
You talked about it in the quick recap. Like, they missed their window to make their run.
Yeah.
And then it was too late. So I am very impressed with LeBron, but you can also tell that it's
It's not enough anymore.
It's not enough anymore. Not in this matchup.
What's your big takeaway?
Mine is a shout-out. It's a player shout-out, and it's to Mr. Two-Time, and I'm not talking about Jokic. Contavious champion Pope. 20 points tonight, fellas, on 8 of 12 shooting. 12 shots against his old teammates.
How many steals?
Mr. Two-Time, he hits. Beautiful. He's 2 of 3 from deep. 3 steals, 1 block. He did turn it over 3 times. KCP never takes the game off. He's a champion. He's a pro. And listen, we expected Mike to not have his special stuff tonight. Talked about it in the pregame. Someone had to have it instead. KCB kindly obliged. What a pro, what a champ, what a Nugget. Shout out KCP.
When he's healthy and he's looked like feeling good and spry, the Nuggets have never lost. I know that's a stat.
I'm with you.
They've
man.
never lost.
I'm with you.
When he's feeling spry, he looked like it.
Yeah.
I'm with D-Line, though, for my big takeaway. There was so much to be encouraged with tonight. I actually liked what I saw from the young guys. I liked what I saw from the rotation, actually. Yep. I liked a lot. I liked individuals. But that collective group is just... We talked about the Nuggets coming into the season. Will they start slow? Is there a hangover? Is this or that? The thing you discount is that chemistry, to the degree that they have it,
That's exactly
is such an advantage early. It's an advantage all the time.
Yep.
But right now, the Lakers have new pieces. They got this or that. It's like, where do we go? What do we do? How does this work? Meanwhile, the Nuggets can do this blindfolded, where they're just like, oh, yeah, all of these things happen in unison. Jokic gets a triple-double. Right. Everybody plays perfectly. And this starting lineup, man, we always talk about Jokic. Where's he going to go down? And where's the two-man game going to go down and this or that? I honestly wonder if the legacy of the Denver Nuggets, when it's all said and done, is going to be about a 5-man lineup. Think about how many teams do you think about the 5-man lineup? I think Denver, it might be a thing where we're like,
the Spurs,
do you remember how perfect that 5 guy? And you remember all 5 of them.
Dude, Simmons and Russillo said big 3s are out, big 4s are in. Let's take it further. It's about the big 5 these days, and that's why Denver looks, to me, and we're 1 game into the season, but extended from last year, head and shoulders better than everyone in the West.
Dude.
And it was the same story as the Western Conference Finals. Very competitive from the Lakers. Good for you through 3 quarters. Oh, it's crunch time? It's our time. And the chemistry is enough in those moments to be the difference every time.
That's the thing, is that we spent the offseason is for on-paper basketball, where you can be like,
true.
AD and LeBron Hopper. You can make a graphic.
No, it's not even that. It's Christian Wood. And,
they got Cam Reddish.
Gabe Vincent too. What?
Right, and then, but the thing that you cannot quantify in any way is the chemistry, and that's like why it's so hilarious to just sit back as a Nuggets fan, knowing that this team has built something that is built to last, because it's not just about trying to capture lightning in a bottle all the time. Like, it's not like, oh man, like I hope Gabe Vincent is going to be hot from 3. Oh man, I hope that who's the guy from Minnesota that played for them tonight?
Taurean Prince.
Taurean Prince.
Yeah, I hope Taurean Prince doesn't shoot shoot the cover off the ball, like stuff like that, where like they needed that to keep it close. And they just don't. They don't have the chemistry. They just don't. So
yeah, Taurean Prince, who was a stud tonight, minus 14 on the floor. To your point.
Yeah. Denver did shoot the ball well tonight, and maybe you can even argue, like, they shot 53% from the field, 41% from 3. Even with Michael Porter's poor shooting,
they shot well.
It's still not a game that you could say Denver shot poorly. But guess what? They also wasn't competitive. They dominated. Here's a take for you, Dev. The Nuggets got off to a slow start last year with Murray's injury and this or that. They played phenomenal in December and January. They went through their lull, but then they were phenomenal. And we think the lull had more to do with off-court stuff than on-court stuff. And then they were even better in the playoffs than they were in January and December. Is it possible we can actually look at these data points and see a straight line and say, yeah, they were one thing, then they were better, then the playoffs they were better, and now they're actually better even than that?
Yeah, I mean, the scariest part of it is all those things were expected from them last year. They had to get their guys back from, health and getting them together. They had to get that chemistry back, because now they're getting a new team pretty much, and then also their guys back from health. And then they found their core. They found their chemistry. They got to get it going. And now they don't have to have that lull that you were looking for. That's the scariest part, is they start from a high on opening night where Jamal doesn't, look bad to start out. The core is already there. They're not trying to get new guys in the rotation. They're ready right now. So they're going to stay at that peak.
Yeah. I think that it's one game. We can't overreact too much. It's one game.
Yes, we can.
We're not overreacting.
And
We're
gonna.
properly reacting. This team has not lost since last year.
That's so true. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if this is true, but what my eyes told me tonight is that the Nuggets look like they are actually better in some ways than they were last year. And that's what I mean is this starting lineup didn't get worse chemistry.
Well, that's true.
No, they did not.
And that's a scary thing.
I do think, buckle up for eventually the foot comes off the gas in the regular season. They were going to be motivated
Was the
tonight.
foot on the gas tonight? Yeah, I guess it kind of was.
I mean, it was, dude. Especially Aaron Gordon and KCP, who played this like a finals game from the jump.
The Lakers played it like a finals game.
I mean, as they needed
so
to, as was expected, but they played it like a Western Conference Finals game, to your point. But
they wouldn't know the other.
The only thing about the straight line is, look, at some point, the defense, they'll be like, yeah, we got it, it's fine. And it won't be.
Defense was good,
until June. No, I know. I'm just saying tonight, but the general sentiment of where they're starting from, what that allows for them in terms of room for growth and improvement, it's undeniable. It's why they have to be considered favorites. You don't usually win a title and then bring them all back. So,
yeah, Nuggets 125.3 offensive rating tonight, 111.5 defensive. That's really good. 125.3 as a team is, I mean, unbelievable. Denver last year, I think, was at 116 or 117 or something like that. So they were like a 95th percentile game for them from last year. And this was against a team that, supposed to be a challenge defensively and this or that. So very impressive indicators here for Denver early on.
The wildest thing is that Denver had a low period. Like that second bench stint was not great. It wasn't great, and it tested the resolve of the starters, but also kind of showed that there are things that still need to be figured out on this team. Like the first stint the bench had was beautiful. They were being fueled off of the energy of the building. I don't know what it was, but everybody was hitting shots. Everyone was working, doing the right thing. The second time they came out as a unit, it slowed down quite a bit, but it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
This is us all last year. We're like, oh man, the bench, and then the starters come in, they're plus 18 or whatever.
Well, the thing about going 16-4 in the playoffs is we all quickly forget that basketball games get close. Teams go on runs. Right. It's not an indictment on any group or it just happens sometimes, right? The Lakers did push back, but the bench did their job insofar as we've defined it, right? Which is tread water. That first stint they were fine. And if your starters are that much better, that's a fine formula.
All right. Starters checked all the boxes tonight, man. They're going to be fun to watch. Great start. A+, no notes.
Dude, even Mike, right? Mike, far and away the worst starter tonight, right?
No, I thought he just didn't make a shot.
Hang on.
But the worst starter, which just means
far and away the worst starter.
The worst
looked like
champion.
the heel bothered him a little bit. First game back. Let's check the damage.
Double.
12 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, no turnover, 1 foul, plus 12.
So,
these starters have it.
Yeah, they have it, baby. All right, let's take our first break of the show. On the other side, I actually have more big takeaways and a lot about the bench. That was very intriguing. So let's get to that on the other side.
You know what's really intriguing? Soul Savvy. Don't miss out on the biggest sneaker drops by downloading the Soul Savvy Drops app now, especially because we've partnered with Soul Savvy on something special.
Real quick, people always ask, how can we support the show? We love the show. This brings us so much joy. How could you do it? Sign up for Soul Savvy. If I have one thing to tell you right now, sign up for Soul Savvy. You won't regret it. First of all, you might want to check it out. You'll kind of find out how it works. But number two, we do have a very cool announcement that later on you're going to be kicking yourself if you didn't sign up now. So do us a favor. During this ad read, scan that.
No, and again, look at Dev's shoes. You don't get those through normal means.
Easy overlap here. We know there's a lot of hoop heads, a lot of sneaker heads out there. And the thing about a lot of sneaker communities is that they're not really for the people. They're for the resellers. That's not true with drops. So whether you're a casual buyer or an all-out sneakerhead, Soul Savvy has something for you with the basic version, the Mobile Plus, or the Premium. Check them out at links.soulsavvy.com/DNVR to learn more. Sign up for Soul Savvy by clicking the links in the description or by visiting that URL, or head over to the App Store and download the Drops by Soul Savvy apps. The Denver Nuggets got to where they were through patience, through preparation, through looking ahead. And it's important not to be caught off guard by the price of college. You got to start saving early. You can't skip any steps, and you need a plan just in case your child doesn't land that athletic scholarship. We can't all be Jokic. College Invest makes it easy with flexible savings plans. It's important to start saving, so you got to benefit from this, especially the Colorado tax deduction. There's no reason not to check out College Invest and get started, get saving, get planning early.
Back here, segment 2. We are going to get to the ceremony later on. We're going to talk about the ring. We got all those different things. I was at the arena today for the first half of the game, including the ceremony. Can't wait to share my perspective on that. But we're sticking with the game here for a second. The bench tonight, and what I imagine will be the bench for the first portion of the season. Well, who knows how long that is, but the first little bit. Reggie Jackson, Christian Braun, Peyton Watson, and then Zeke Naji. There were ups and downs to that group, no doubt, tonight. But I think that the culture of what we saw last year from the team at large really shined in the group. They played hard. They defended. It wasn't like they look inexperienced and they look like Peyton Watson. Christian Braun had a couple ugly plays tonight. But you're not going to lack for effort or discipline from those guys. I think that's going to be a group that has a floor of, okay, where they're going to do the right things. It might get clunky. That's my big takeaway, Dev, from watching them play. More than about what happened, we'll get to that. I just think that they're about the right things and have the right attempt at an identity.
I loved the bench performance in this game because they just didn't do too much, and it's really about holding water, getting those minutes so that your starters, who was the best starting five in all of basketball, can just buy more time. And you got to see that in this game. There was not a lot of shot attempts. They bought into the defensive side. The first stint that they had, that really did set the tone for the game. They're blocking. Christian Braun got a block on LeBron at the rim. P. Swat is stepping up defensively. Reggie Jackson knocked down shots, and he was incredible in this game. That if he can have those type of games, Denver's going to win a lot of basketball games because that's when they go on that run. Yeah, there's going to be times that the Lakers and other teams are just going to do that offset where guys are going to just try to blitz them, but they held water and stayed strong. It's going to be hard to beat them when they're playing like that.
It's true, man. Reggie, just to pile on that, Reggie was great tonight. Our big questions coming into tonight and into the season in general is, what does the backup 5 look like? What does the backup 1 look like at times? And I also what does the backup 3 look like? I'm pretty surprised we didn't see Justin Holiday tonight.
Yep.
And they, in their first stint, looked fantastic. It is gonna. The fact that they are the bench, that tells you that those are the type of players that are up and down, by nature. That's why they're on the bench. But tonight felt like something that could be built upon. It didn't feel like they were searching for answers. They put their foot down and planted their flag, saying this is our best shot when Jokic is not on the floor, and largely they were correct. So it feels like, oh, dope. We're not always going to play the Lakers that are putting LeBron up against the bench unit to try and gain an advantage. Most NBA teams actually play their bench against the bench. And they look good, man. They really did look good from that standpoint.
Yeah, I thought, look, we talked about what the Reggie Jackson experience will be. And this is a good example. Not a great playmaker tonight. You saw the flaws. But tonight, he hit 3 of his shots, and each one of them felt big. That's always going to be a welcome contribution. I will say I'm a little less high on what it looked like with him out there. But to his credit, hit some big shots. And I thought he competed defensively tonight. I don't think he's a great defensive option, but Reggie competed tonight. So I like the minutes he gave Denver. I do wonder about that look with the bench, Reggie and Jamal together. But if Jamal's going to be aggressive like that and Reggie hits shots, it works. Malone said before the game he was asked by someone in the media, I think it was D-Mac, what he expects from the second unit. And he said, I just expect they play as hard as they can every possible second. And he doesn't expect them to be perfect. And I think tonight's a good example. It was sloppy. It was ugly. They dragged him down to the mud, but they played hard enough. And that's the formula.
Yeah. On Reggie, his crossover of LeBron, it wasn't even a crossover. It was really a jab step and pullback. And I don't know. I haven't seen the replay.
I have.
Did he trip?
He
get pushed?
He stepped on his foot.
He tried to pull it back.
Doesn't matter.
It actually doesn't matter because there were 19,000 people in Ball Arena tonight. You wouldn't believe it. They loved that. They loved that one. Reggie gives him the jab step. LeBron falls down. Reggie kind of sits for a second, takes a breath, drains the 3, and it was. I think that was sort of the pinnacle of the first run. That was sort of where the first run
I started tweeting wildly at that point. I had to bring myself back in.
And it was just such a great moment. And I'll tell you, Reggie did bring that vibe. He was feeling it that 100%. Time. He was kind of going off and this or that. And it was
Bones-esque.
Bones Highland-esque in a certain way. But even, you mentioned Peyton Watson playing tonight. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
I did not think he was going to get the go. I thought it was going to be Justin Holiday. I didn't know if Peyton Watson did enough in preseason. We didn't hear his name a whole lot in training camp. So I thought maybe Malone would play hardball with him and not play tonight. He played, and I thought he played well relative to my expectation, meaning when I say that I think Denver's second unit is building a foundation, it's not like it was just these random things and it's going to be different game to game. That play where he blocked LeBron at the rim was a phenomenal defensive sequence from everybody. Yeah. It was scrambling everywhere and culminated with him scrambling from one side all the way over to make a layup-saving block that even LeBron didn't see coming. And to me, that's their identity. You've got Christian Braun, Zeke Naji, Peyton Watson. All three of those guys need to play on turbo with the turbo button down, another gaming reference. They need to play it every second they're on the court. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Yeah, it's a lot of games. Turbo buttons in there.
There is a lot of there. And then
up, down, down.
Yeah. So to me, that's why I kind of had faith in and again, opening night, starters played a lot of minutes.
No qualifiers. All gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. I'm just saying, so I want to see them do this consistently, but tonight, the fact that they did it on night one, they're 1 for 1 at doing it that way, and that's their ticket.
Just to stick on the Peyton Watson thing, like if you go and look at the box score, you say he only played 11 minutes. He was 1 of 3 points. How did he have a good game? Because it's about making an impact, and he made that impact on the defensive end. You go and block, a guy at the rim. You don't allow a lot of points. You stay in front of your guys and have good rotations where you don't have to score every single time down. You don't have to have that identity, and then that becomes your identity. You just talked about those 3 guys, Peyton Watson, Christian Braun, Zeke Naji. The big thing about those 3, all defensive impact. Right, and if you could build on that, you talk about those building blocks. If you could build on that, those are things that you could replicate every single time out where it's like, hey, we could give them a couple more minutes. We could throw one other guy in there and just, cause, a bit more there that you could get some offense off of that. But that's something that you could bring every single night. So you got to love what you've seen from Peyton Watson.
To that point, Dev, I think that's really well said. There was a lineup tonight that was Jokic, Reggie, plus those 3. So there's your offense and there's your that's defense, and it allows you to try something like that. And even Zeke, who didn't play well tonight, he just didn't. I still think I like the look with him out there. There were a lot of pick and rolls, and you just go, if that's DeAndre Jordan, he can't switch that, or it's a mismatch. And I actually think just the fact that Zeke was switchable stymied a lot of what the Lakers wanted to do against that unit. So is this a high grade for Zeke? No. Do I feel good about Zeke with the second line unit? Yeah, I do.
But that's just it. Like I think he did play well. Like he just didn't play well offensively. He did so many. That's the thing, right? Like it's like you need to have all of these guys that do different things, that switch it up. That we saw Zeke getting switched out on the one, him holding his own, like getting rebounds. I mean, yeah, he didn't score points, but. I don't know. There's not a single nugget that I felt wasn't good. They're all good.
Well done. I think the thing, though, that you're getting at with Zeke is, one of the things Bruce brought in the regular season, perhaps the most important thing he brought was chaotic energy.
Yeah.
Defensively, he flew around and made plays. And then in the playoffs that went up, and he also brought ball handling, these other things. Christian Braun brings that. Peyton Watson brought it tonight. Zeke Naji brings that.
Yep.
And so you have 3 guys that kind of play with chicken with their head cut off, who have some skill to them. And it's that lineup is going to have, I think it's going to have some big runs in both directions.
Sure.
But it's also going to, Denver starters build a lead, and all of a sudden a bench comes in that's like, well, these guys are flying around, man.
Sounds exactly like a bench unit.
Yeah, it sounds like a bench unit.
And it was ugly in the second half, but they were good enough in the first, and the starters were so much better. That's at home, that's a blueprint to a win.
And they wore out LeBron James.
That might be easier to do now.
It's incredibly easy to do, but the point being, the Lakers made it seem like they gave their big punch early in the fourth, and then when it came down to it, it was like, oh, right, they already started their sprint long ago.
I'm curious what you thought of Christian Braun tonight, Dev.
He's working himself back into it. He didn't play in the preseason at all. I feel like they limited him, out there. So I don't think it was a good game. It wasn't a bad game. And also he looked like he's still running around. He also made those impacts. That's going to be a defensive unit, and it's going to be behind him and Peyton Watson.
Dude.
Who could be crazier on defense? And you see that. So I think that, again, that's a game. I mean, that's a energy that you can replicate. That's what you can bring every single night. And if there's one guy with a motor, it's Christian Braun. So you want to see more of that.
Yeah.
So another moment, he blocks LeBron James. Like
And flexes.
that's another moment where the crowd loses their mind. It's just like
Did you say he flexed?
Oh, yeah, he flexed.
Christian?
I'm telling you, Christian told himself he was going to take a year off from talking shit. He's like, I'm a rookie. I got to do it. Now it's game number 1. And he's like, who's that down there?
dude,
LeBron?
it turns out if you see Christian without a beard, watch out.
So we talked about hopefully an increase in confidence for Christian. He has one of the worst misses at the rim you'll see.
Oh my God.
And then he just goes right back to the rim with his left hand.
Such a hard finish.
And it was, arguably a bad shot, but it's just the way that he's like, oh, I'm not afraid. I'm Christian Braun. I win games. And he just went right at him. That was a big bucket. I think Christian is one of those guys where for the next, even I think for this year, much like last year, the box score is its own thing, but 9 out of 10 times it was winning basketball that he put forth.
Yeah. Is there any other notes here from the bench? We kind of talked about Zeke, Reggie, Peyton, and Christian. The rotation, there were some interesting rotational moments here because it wasn't, some of the staggers felt a little bit unique. The KCP Jokic minutes, as you referenced earlier. So I just thought that it was a little bit different than what I had pictured in my head in a positive way. The rotation, not just the bench.
I mean, the big thing for me is like Reggie Jackson playing 24 minutes. I'm glad that he earned those minutes in this game, and Michael Malone made sure to keep him out there just to show him, like, hey, if this is how you're playing, we're going to have to, ride you. If you would have told me at the end of last year, or just like in the playoffs, that Reggie Jackson was going to be the backup point guard and he's going to be playing 20 minutes a night, I'm like, there's no way. He didn't play at all.
Right.
And like a big organizational, piece. And so for him to be the backup point guard on opening night and play a good game of 24 minutes, I'm like, okay, this was okay to start with.
Yeah, man.
No, we're not saying Reggie is the guy, but right now that's something that you could get behind, and you could see those pieces.
Is he not the guy?
So he had his moments.
Is he not the guy? He might be the guy.
There's not that unit's going to generate some bad possessions, and there's a large handful of times where Reggie breaking a guy out down for a bailout bucket is a perfectly fine outcome.
Completely
fine.
fine.
A wide open Christian Braun 3 still isn't a circle of trust shot, and he's a circle of trust player. So. But I do think it's going to be a lot like Bones. When he's hitting the shots, it's great. If he's not, it's going to leave a little to be desired. But tonight he hit them, so I want to focus on that.
To me, he looked like in control a lot of times of that unit. He was more than... this is the most comfortable and the most in control Reggie has looked in a Denver Nuggets uniform, I thought, tonight. There were times last year where you were like, oh my God, making strange passes, trying to do too much, maybe shooting when he shouldn't be. And I don't know, tonight it looked like a very viable backup point guard to me.
I thought he looked a little chaotic tonight at times. To me, he played more or less kind of how I expected. But nonetheless, it wasn't disruptive. And like I said, part of this is because I just feel like all the guys are bought in. And he is out there to be a pot stirrer a little bit. Sometimes Denver needs that. I will say of the bench, and look, again, I don't even want to take anything from Reggie, but I do look at that bench and go, Jamal Murray, I do think Jamal Murray, again, the first 2 possessions when he went with the bench, he went to the corner and just didn't touch the ball. Yeah. And I was like, man, are we doing this again? You're at the bench. Go be the point guard of the second unit. And as the game went on, I thought he did a better job of that. But I do look at that lineup and think that Strother does fit into it really nicely. I don't think you need to rush into it. I think Denver has time. But I do wonder if that is going to be... I just think it could be a really good combination of players if you ended up adding him to that mix.
It's incredible.
But again...
And the veteran presence of Justin Holiday. There are still quivers in the arrow, or arrows in the quiver that were not even gone to tonight. They have more offensive options.
Let's take a break. On the other side, here's a tease for you. Somebody just sent me a video.
Yep.
Did you see it? Very interesting video about the post-game handshakes.
I thought maybe a different video. Also, we mentioned this in the pregame show. Not everybody saw it. Look at that huge Jokic head. I replaced the Jokic head with a larger Jokic head. When you win a championship, your head swells. They are now on equal footing. I never want to hear another complaint. Let's go Nuggets.
Jokic is big-headed.
Hey, let's get into this ad break, but a quick update for you. Avs won, so it's officially a double winner.
Let's
here.
go.
It's vibe season again in Denver.
6-0?
Is it a winter sports town? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Here's what I do know. It's never ordinary with Bet365. Sometimes if you've watched enough sports, you may think, I've seen this before. This seems typical. This seems usual. But with Bet365, it's actually never ordinary because you can turn even the most mundane moments into the moments. You can turn any game into the game with the pioneers of live betting, Bet365. We have our very own custom bets going up for all the beats at Bet365, so keep an eye out for Nux. You see Nux on there, you know that's us. And keep an eye out each week for new bets on Bet365. Ride with DNVR. Place your bets using code DNVR365 at sign-up. You do have to be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly, and if you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-GAMBLER.
And we are back.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Because I gotta tell everyone about the best place for burritos, buddies, and beer.
where could that
That's
be?
illegal.
Oh,
Guys,
You tried to cut this off.
Here's the thing.
For
The Nuggets
shame.
they're playing again. They're practicing again, which means we're going to Ball Arena before the shows again, which means where else do we go before the show, fellas? Pete's. We go to Pete's because we're buddies. They've got burritos. They've got beers. They've been doing it for over 28 years. Denver writes old, new, any shape, any size. Find yourself at a legal Pete's to hang out with some buddies, enjoy some burritos, and some delicious beer as well.
Let's go, dude.
All right, now we're back?
Yes, right.
Now we're back.
Now we're back.
Lots of great content up at the DNVR.com over the last week or so. You're not going to want to miss any of that. We did have Josh Kroenke in studio yesterday. I thought it was a very
was no big
interesting-
deal.
No big deal.
Trophy was right
what
here.
was
Larry
right
O'Brien.
there? Something was there.
Larry O'Brien was right here in
that's
the
right.
Winners Lounge, and I'm telling you, he really did talk a lot about things he doesn't talk a lot about, talk often about. So
Denver double.
the Denver
Let's
double,
go.
baby. We got the Denver double.
Our Avs guys.
are feeling it too.
I probably would be after 6-0.
Yeah,
I think.
6-0
dude.
probably feels all
We'll
right.
see how we feel after 6-0.
Getting back to the show though, Kale, do you have a video queued up here? I do. Let's take a quick look here. After the game, we've got Jokic. Oh man, it's playing a little choppy for us.
We can start it
It's
over.
all right.
You go shake hands. Look at Jokic here. He kind of gives a little wave off. LeBron not interested in the handshake. Look at him. He goes, all right, whatever. He kind of gives one of these, right?
Bro,
I
I'm
mean-
telling you, I saw it in LeBron's eyes tonight. Like, he realizes this is not his league anymore.
You think?
Yes.
You saw it in the eyes.
I saw it in the eyes.
Nothing
I
ba-
saw the shoulders shrink.
Dude, we
I
need
saw
a
it, man.
D-line looks into your eyes graphic, Kale. Can we get one? This should be a bit.
Yeah.
All right, you looked into his eyes.
I saw through the windows
Oh,
the
man.
soul of the man.
Really?
And I saw a man that knows that he has entered into winter. And many great accomplishments have happened, and
Yeah.
many kingdoms have been raised.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like the Roman Empire,
Oh, wow. I think about that daily.
things don't
heard about
last
that.
forever. Even if you are LeBron James, but you do if you're an aquifer.
If you're an aquifer,
those last
the
forever.
Roman aquifer. That's a really good point.
Honestly, I just think that's like that's ultimate loser behavior, though. Like,
So lame,
it's
dude.
ring night for somebody, or for another team. You've been there, you've accomplished that, so you go and give them their love. But also, they just chanted "Who's your daddy" and all these things,
That's
and then
why-
you go
that's
and you
why
just
they
be a
left.
brat. Like you just leave the arena. It's game one. Like, just show some respect for that was a good game. It was hard fought. You guys got us again. And then you just shake your hands and you go on about your way. But that's just not
Telling
how
you,
you
man.
go about things. I hate it.
They had a whole conversation. He and AD. They talked about
Hey,
it.
look, even after winning the title, Nuggets are not in the club, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's so true.
Go make your
Dude,
own
we
club.
are the
They
goddamn
didn't even
club.
go talk to KCP. That's your guy.
Not
I'm
anymore.
telling you,
No, it's actually not their guys.
go
somehow.
ruin the league for everyone. Ruin it.
Didn't you hear that they didn't? KCP said
Yeah,
no,
they didn't reach out. Yeah.
Because they don't. They're not happy for me over there, man.
No, nor should they be.
Nor should they be, man.
They fear the Nuggets as well. They should.
Dude, I told you one of my hopes was that when it was all said and done, KCP would be a Nugget, not a Laker. He wouldn't be thought of even shared, just kind of no, he's a Nugget. I kind of feel like we might. When I hear that story,
I think we're there, dude.
We need to get him.
there?
We need to get him one of those "bitch I'm a Nugget" shirts from the parade.
I think he's fully crossed over.
I think so too.
He started with a pander.
Yeah.
It ended with a title, and then again, that's why he was my big takeaway tonight. Ring night, the old friends in town. 20 points for Casey.
20 points. He doesn't score 20 all the time, man.
man.
That's he stepped up in a big moment. You guys, I think I would like to. We call this segment. Let's get wild and reckless.
Okay.
All right. This is a little
Oh,
bit
I thought that was the whole show.
That was the whole show. This is a little bit like hot box and hot takes. Maybe we could just do hot box and hot takes. There we go. Hot box and hot takes. Kel knew exactly what the segment was.
Presented by Kind Love.
He's like wild and reckless. Is that hot box and hot takes? Yeah, it is. It's hot box.
We
and hot
didn't
takes.
rebrand it.
Dev, I've got one for you. Jokic checks boxes. You know, he goes through guys. He has to solve them. Mm-hmm. And there are guys that, Gobert gave him trouble for a while, checks the box. I think it happened last year. Of course, he had a phenomenal game one. But Anthony Davis still does some things. I think that box might be completely and utterly checked off now. I think Anthony Davis has gone from the S-tier Jokic defender down into the every other tier.
TEAR.
Yeah, there's two tiers. There's S tier, and now there's just every other person in the NBA.
He's just gone to tears.
It's actually embarrassing watching him attempt to guard him. Really, I feel sad for him a lot of the times. Like Jokic just destroys him in every single way, and he's just too big for him. He's too strong for him. And this is like from a guy that is really like he's an all-time defender. And he just doesn't see him at all. Like there was times in this game that they were like, we're gonna put Austin Reeves on him just to give him a look. Like they did a zone. they got a zone because Jokic just started cooking, and he was like, okay, if we don't stop this fast, he's going to destroy us.
They put three guys on him.
So let's triple team him. Let's give him a box and one. Let's give him a zone. And he also was just like, okay, well, I'll just start passing. But like he really does not care about AD anymore. Like that's not anybody he sees.
Eric, you were saying earlier you saw LeBron. It's not his league anymore. I do imagine I didn't see his eyes the way you did.
I did. I saw the man's soul.
But I wonder if there's another interpretation. You know how you ever been in a fight with your boys and you're like, my boys got my back, and then they get their ass kicked or something, and you're like, well, I think this is LeBron. LeBron is over there like, well, I got AD, and I can throw AD on Jokic and this and that. I think he's like, we don't. That's not.
Rui.
But
where's Rui?
We have to do a zone. There's nothing. And honestly, you've been on a team before where a guy who you thought could handle a matchup, and you go into halftime, and you're like, everybody kind of knows, like, all right, so that's not going to work. Like, all right, what do we do now?
But in the past, LeBron was like, oh man, what's the answer? Oh right, me.
Yeah.
It's not that anymore. Now he has to look to his teammates to be like, oh, man, please. The craziest thing about AD is that he went at Jokic and LeBron, went so hard in the first half. It meant so much to them. I was like, bro, there is no way that they can keep this pace up. And if they attempt to keep this pace up, not only will they not be able to do it for the full game, they're going to be out. Like, they're not going to make it through 25 games this season. Like, Anthony Davis he had nothing left. He scored 17 points in the first half. I think he scored 2 points in the second half or zero.
I think that's two. Yeah, about two, I think.
Unbelievable because
he might not have scored, actually.
It started as a tete. It was Jokic versus AD as AD wanted it. He kept
that was for him.
That's what I'm saying though. Like that's how he's like, and where it's like, okay. All right, like line up, show us zero, and he looked like it was like, okay, all right, you got it. But like, I can tell that this is taking everything out of you. And then the second half hits and pumpkin.
And the thing about AD, man, is I agree with everyone else around the league. I think he is the best defender in the world. I really do, and I think that's what the matchup looks like now. And so for AD, he's got to be the best defensive player in the world, the best matchup for Jokic, and for large stretches of the game, the best offensive player for the other team. That is a lot to ask. I don't really think it's like we love to clown Anthony Davis I have a lot of respect for Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he's really good.
I just think he's not good enough.
He's just not quite good enough. The playoffs really told us this, the Western Conference Finals. Like, it's not that we didn't know this, but tonight just felt like a different level. It felt like Jokic solved Gobert in the bubble. And then every time after that, it just got worse. Then after that is when we got the brother, I have 47. That's when we got all of all those moments. And I'm just saying, I feel like tonight was more of a Jokic being like, No, you were a guy I used to have a hard time
He
with.
looked off a wide open Jamal Murray 3 because he really wanted to score on AD. And we haven't seen that.
He makes AD question if he's a center. He's like, I don't even want to play that position because he plays it.
He's like, I'm going to stretch 3.
He's trying to move as far away from the 5.
I will fade away on Monte Morris.
I'm telling you, man, that to me is one of them. All right, let's get reckless. Who's got a hot box or hot takes they want to fire off after one game?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Every single night that the Nuggets and the Avs play on the same night, neither one of them are going to lose for the rest of the year. For the rest of the
How about
year.
this one because it has no logic to it or anything? It's just pure vibes.
And everyone knows it won't happen, but still.
It might happen. It might happen. At least for the next 2-3 months.
I love it, man. It was fun. I was sitting up here with the Avs crew. I don't know if you were there for when the Avs scored like 3 goals in a row, right when the Nuggets were throwing their knockout punch. And it was just like the vibes combining into this like double vibe.
Dude,
We talk about the big winners over the years. Ball Arena.
Oh, man.
This is a look. We love every sport at DNVR, and we dream of a day where they're all glorious at the same time. As of right now, it sure feels like a Ball Arena town to me.
Dude,
the Avs. These are the best shows in Denver by a lot.
We're just spinning. Like, I feel like a little ballerina myself.
Nice
Just spinning.
You're so good.
I am so good.
Yeah, my big takeaway is that I think the Nuggets
Big
will be.
takeaway?
I mean, sorry, big
Hot take?
hot
Start
take.
the show over.
My immaculate vibes take is that they will be better than last year.
Yeah.
I think they're a better team than last year.
Better.
My reckless take is that we've already been saying it, but like I'm ready to bury the Lakers.
Yeah, yep.
Like,
are you talking about the team of the past?
they are the team of the past.
Right.
I am burying. I'm not thinking about the Lakers anymore.
They
I'm
have
not.
all those championships, though, in the past.
Let me send a tweet to pay respects because we've been talking a lot of trash.
It's like unbelievable. It is, and it's so sweet because I mean, again, they wanted this so badly. They wanted this so badly, and I have a hard time imagining them losing to the Lakers again for a very long time. Like, this is going to flip so hard on LA, and they don't realize what they've been giving out, and they're going to receive it, and it will be beautiful.
That's right.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
What you're going to do is you're going to bathe in the blood that you have caused, and it's going to be something to behold. Watch them melt down. I can't wait to see it.
You got a hot take for us? Another one? You guys like
Hotter
another
take?
one? You want me to go crazy? Man, I'm trying to think if I have another hot take that I want to. No, actually, I got one. I got one for you. I got another one. And this is actually a talking point I wanted us to get to. We've talked about the year of Jamal Murray.
Yep.
And by the way, we should talk about him a little bit later on. I thought his game was very interesting tonight. We've talked about could Jokic be better? I think the answer is probably yes to that. We haven't really talked about what a breakout Aaron Gordon year would look like.
Come on.
And here's the thing. Aaron Gordon, I think, actually is better than ever. And we saw a little bit of this, in the playoffs and this or that. But Aaron Gordon is smarter than ever. He knows where he fits into the chemistry with Jokic and Murray and all this stuff better than ever. And he hasn't really lost anything so far. He hasn't lost anything physically. Tonight, kind of, I don't want to call it a breakout performance, but if you talk about a guy who maybe looked a little bit better, like better than expectation, Aaron Gordon might be that guy. 15.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, did everything, 7 for 11.
No turnovers.
No turnovers, knocked down a
No
3.
fouls.
And that's just while being quiet. Like this could have been a chippy game.
It wasn't even a loud
but
game.
It was quiet.
You
for
thought
him.
it was a quiet game for AG?
No, I'm saying like it was not like a, hey, you have to guard LeBron, you have to guard Anthony Davis, and you have to be stronger than them, bigger than them, blah blah blah. Like we always talk that up because he's that guy for those type of players. In this game, he didn't. He just does his job. And also, you talk about like what he's. I mean, if he's like lost any, I think he's added a piece to his game. He has this like down low 1-2 like slow step where he's just stronger than everyone. You either have to foul him or he's just gonna finish it, and he's finishing well around the rim right now, where it's not just dunks. So I think his footwork is getting a lot better, but he's just so big, so strong, so physical that I think that it's just gonna be hard to do anything with him. He looks way better to me, just way better.
See, that's what tonight he did, and that's the thing is it didn't look Wasn't like he was hitting turnaround fallaways and, he went 4 for 4 from 3 tonight, which we know would not be as sustainable. I just think he feels the game better. I think he knows it. He's centered, man. He's so centered.
He is. It
is true.
It's there were times in the past where you would watch AG force things like force deep shots, force mid-range shots, do turnarounds, things that were sort of outside of where he should be because he spent the first entire part of his career being miscast as like the number one guy and being maligned for it. And so, I think that takes a long time to sort of shake your original identity and be born anew. And he has been born anew in the golden era of the Denver Nuggets. He has just found his perfect spot. Obviously, this has happened over the last several years, but he is even more at peace and centered and understanding who he is exactly and his role, dude. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It really I think AG and KCP are both getting A+ for me tonight. Not to spoil the grades, but it's
why even read it, dude?
It's not, and like everyone's A+ is different, right? Like Jokic was the best player on the floor.
What would you give me?
But so far, A- for sure.
Yeah, let's fucking go, dude.
But there was a type of way that Aaron Gordon and KCP needed to play this game for the Denver Nuggets, and they both played the exact kind of game their team needed them to, with the exact kind of urgency from the jump. AG was defending, he was passing, there was pep in his step, and he even hit that one big three they really needed. So it's AG is officially a more kind of in the Draymond tier of like his A+ look like this. It's not 30+ games. Yeah. It's this. And if he plays this way, look out.
Speaking of these types of A+, we kept wondering what Jamal would look like.
Yep.
This stat line, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. That's a Jamal Murray is inconsistent stat line. I thought he was great tonight.
Me too.
I thought he was great tonight. And here's the thing about Jamal. He talked about it in his presser. He talked about it at media day, this or that. We all wondered, is he going to be gunning for all NBA this year? Is he going to be gunning for some accolades and maybe be a little me first? Tonight, there were times he could have. Yeah. There were plenty of times D'Angelo Russell's pressing him. All right, I kept screaming, clear out, let him cook. Let him cook D'Angelo Russell. He never did. He just did the smart thing all game long. And as a result, 21-6 is not a number that's going to stand out. But it was a perfect game from him.
Yeah, I think that he truly took what the defense gave to him in this game, because if he wanted to press, if he wanted to be aggressive the entire time, I think he could have went for 30+. He could have went for maybe 40, because it became a one-on-one type of match with him. But he was just like, no, I'm going to just make it where I'm getting open shots. I'm going to knock him down. I'm getting to the rim. I'm going to kick it out. I'm going to rotate the ball. And he let it come to him, and he's going to have those blow-up nights. He's going to have those nights where he's just going crazy. Yep. But also, it's going to be very tough for opposing teams if AG's letting the defense come to him. Jokic is in just full attack mode. KCP's not going to score 20 points every single. But everyone is doing what they have to do. And this was a game where Jamal did just that. Just calm, let it come to him, and then just attack. So that was just great to see him in just calm mode.
Dude, my thing with Jamal was that he was big in all of the big moments. Like, there were moments in the middle that it was not, like, it wasn't the best version of Jamal, but like, they need a bucket, Jamal hits a three. Like, they need early on, like, his energy was what got the Nuggets really off and running. And every time that they needed something tonight, like, Jamal was the guy to provide it very often. Like, it's like it's like such a security blanket to know that you have a guy like that we saw he and Jokic down the stretch run the two-man game, like just hitting just effortless mid-range shots, getting to the right play. Like, it just, I mean, what do you want to say, man? Like, what do you people want? What do you want from us? Like, why play the season? Why are we playing the season?
Jamal checked 2 big boxes for me tonight. 2 big boxes. The first is we talked about the way he looked better in the preseason, and it was the playmaking and it was reading the floor. Absolutely the case tonight. 6 assists is a good number, but it almost undersells how good he was as a floor general and a playmaker. Yep. The other for me, and this was part of his ascendance to elite players in the playoffs, was shot readiness from 3. Now, Jamal was 3 of 5 tonight. That's a really, really good result for Jamal for me. Good number, 3 and 5. But it was the threes he did take. You watch the Lakers try to guard the Nuggets' myriad actions and myriad counters. This is awesome. Look at this. Thank you for the Good Witch Ariana.
Look at this incredible sign. I don't know if you can see it though. It says
Ariana, the Good Witch. We've got the Fool.
There he is. The Hierophant. Who was it? Who got that one? I forgot already.
It was
MPJ. Okay, there you go. Oh, that's right. It was like the ultimate vibe.
Dude, Ariana has made it into taunting signs. I love this.
That's incredible.
It was at the game.
You had this at the game tonight?
Oh, yeah.
I'll bet people were like, what the heck does this mean?
No, they
Some
weren't.
people knew what it was.
Told them.
Yeah,
DNVR.
Were people talking to you
people.
about it? Did people know what it was?
No, but we told them.
They should.
So here's for you. We don't want to take it home.
This was awesome. We want to keep it here.
Thank
This
you,
is
thank you,
incredible.
thank
I do want to. That's amazing. I do want to finish this point because
Go for it.
you talked like you look at the way the Lakers guarded their actions, the myriad counters. You think, how did they learn from last year? And there's the last final layer to all of it is Jamal being wide open and him shooting without hesitation. You are screwed, and I think he did that in the playoffs. And tonight it was a couple times going to his left, and it was just, oh, you guys. I'm open. I am shooting this, no hesitation. So the two boxes that are left for Jamal's growth or sustaining where he was at in the finals, he checked them for me. I thought Jamal was near A+ stuff tonight.
He could do it in the regular season. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
When the stakes are highest.
Let's take our final break. We're going to go long in the fourth segment. I've got a photo I want to share from 10 years ago. 10 years ago, that's very, very interesting.
Brooke Shields?
No. What? I want to also share a Who's Your Daddy chant from Ball Arena, which was phenomenal tonight.
And we should, I think, do we have the video from In the Bar?
We have video from the bar. So we have some stuff to share. We also want to talk about ceremony night, and the Harrison win will be live from Ball Arena momentarily.
The Harrison
We
win.
also have not one, fellas, but two tweets of the night. So plenty to get to.
Oh, my
Let's
God.
get to Backus and Schenker. When you've been hurt in a car accident as a pedestrian or at work, and most importantly, it's not your
The
fault.
Lakers should call back as
They should call back.
They were
See if they have a case.
They
They
played
got hurt in
hard,
an accident.
and I don't think they were at fault. They played hard. They played well. Listen, if it wasn't your fault
2-2-2-2.
and you were hurt in a car accident as a pedestrian or at work, there's one move, and it's to call Backus and Schenker at 222-2222 or coloradolaw.net if you're more of a interwebs person. Here's why you call them. They're not going to charge you for a consultation. In fact, they're not going to charge you to take on their case. They won't charge you until they've won your case, and they do win cases. They've won over $1 billion for their clients over the years. What do you do when you've been hurt and it's not your fault? You find the number 2 and you just mash it till Backus or Schenker pick up.
Love it. And we are back. All right, let's go to Who's Your Daddy?
Who is your
This
daddy?
was from the Ball Arena. We talked about how cool it would be if this chant actually happened.
Yeah.
Nuggets fans must have got the word out, man.
Yeah.
They were ready for it, and they pulled
Yeah.
it off at a perfect moment.
I
Let's
knew they
see.
were going to do it since June. He's feeling it.
I love it. Here's the thing. You know what I think about it? There were Lakers fans there tonight.
Yeah.
Fewer than ever before, but they still were there. And I got to tell you,
At the end there were?
well, you know what they took with them on the way out?
Oh, man.
Or do you think that
Massive L.
Do you think they just stopped being Lakers fans by
They
the end?
probably did stop being Lakers fans. But here's the thing. I'm telling you, for all of my existence, people have felt comfortable going into Ball Arena as a
Yep.
Lakers fan, even if they lose, like this or that. I'm telling you, you cannot feel cool losing your 5th straight, 4 in the Western Conference Finals, then a 5th one on opening night after you hype this thing up. You're like, oh, we were talking, we were ready for opening night.
That's
We
a
can't wait
conversation.
for opening night. And then you get your ass kicked that bad. And then on the way out, everybody is telling you who's your daddy. I'm telling you, man.
You know what?
Yeah.
I wouldn't shake hands either.
I was just about to say,
You know?
there's no way I'm shaking my hand after that.
I'm hurt for them.
Did you hear how loud that was?
That was loud,
Oh,
man.
I get it now.
If you guys chanted "Who's your daddy" at me as I just failed in front of everybody,
Yeah, that
I'd
would be
shake
a
your
little
goddamn hand.
You're right, man. You're right. I love that the cut's going even deeper.
Oh,
We
so
also we did a banner raising here at DNVR, guys. So
Look at this.
you know, we had our own banners. We actually ordered banners just for the room. We can't.
Yeah.
We got to get our own banners,
Yeah.
man. Let's show it, Kel. What do we got?
Roll the clip.
It won't play.
It won't
but-
play. We'll do it live.
Hey, Clip. Who's your daddy? Oh, wait. Oh.
There it is. I love the dramatic, slow roll of the banner.
I was doing it in concert,
Yeah.
in time with the whole bar was cheering.
Can I tell you something? You did that 100 times faster than the actual banner.
Yours was
is.
way less.
Well, we
awkward.
actually debated if we should do it at the same time because it was taking them so long.
It was like 8 minutes. The banner, honestly, Look at that. I love it. That's a beautiful banner, by the way. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, the crowd was feeling it, dude.
Oh, I love it.
The crowd was feeling it. The bar was feeling it. Nuggets Twitter was feeling it, too.
By the way,
my
that's where
God.
it belongs.
Let's go.
Should we take a look?
Let's show them.
Should we take a look at the tweets of the night? Not
Tweets
one, but
of
two.
Brandon
Tweets
Vogt,
of the
tweets
night.
of the
But
night.
here's the thing.
Of the night.
For the fans of Online with D-Line, I've taken a page out of his book.
Oh,
we
that's
will
called
start
theft.
we will start to celebrate your tweets, I promise. But the inaugural tweets of the night.
Go to Brendan Vogt.
Yes, sir.
This was my first big takeaway. I was impressed by the Lakers tonight. I think they're just 1 to 2 conversations away.
Oh, man, how'd you find that one? That's
I
a
think
banger.
they're just 1 to 2 convert. And you know what? I think DNVR Nuggets, because we've talked a lot of trash. We've talked a lot of trash, but let's show some respect to the Lakers, fellas. Easily the team of the past.
Easily.
Yeah.
No,
No
if I had to
question.
pick a team of the past,
you
it's the
absolutely
Lakers.
got to hand it. Absolutely got to hand it.
You gotta
to him.
hand
You
it to
don't
him.
have to hand
Wow,
it
great
to him.
tweets.
You
great
have
tweets.
to.
Yeah,
Great tweets of the
yeah.
night.
Dude, how did you find those tweets?
Hey, seriously, rip off your best work of the night. I'll be keeping an eye for it, and it might just appear on the show
Actually,
after.
Tag him
Yeah,
too,
tag.
like let him know.
Put a
Bring
hash-
attention to
put
it.
a hashtag on
All
it.
year we want to celebrate the best of Nuggets online, Nuggets Twitter. Let's talk about banner night while we wait for Harrison Wind. I am not the biggest guy on these types of ceremonies. They're really cool, but I kind of, my expectations are somewhat low. I almost didn't go tonight. I almost just stayed here because I was like, I'm gonna have to go, then I'm gonna have to get, all this stuff. I'm so glad I went, and I'm so glad I was in the building tonight. First of all, 4:45, you're supposed to be in your seats. Guess what? Everybody was. I thought this was gonna be one of those things where it's like half the people aren't there or whatever. Great turnout early. People got here early. They were excited. They were ready for this moment. And then I think shouts to the Nuggets ops. I thought they did a very good job with the
Crushed
video.
it.
They did a good job
Crushed
with
it.
all of just sort of the theatrics of it all. But the Nuggets, man, getting their rings, hearing the crowd go wild. Michael Porter, I'm telling you, like there was a level of cheer for all the guys. And then when it got to Michael Porter, it just goes crazy. Aaron Gordon, KCP, Jamal Murray, and then of course Nikola Jokic. That crowd was just going nuts. And then, as I mentioned, the banner, which was so cool to see it unveiled. It was so slow. They had this like little crane thing that like carried. That thing kind of went around the arena. Like they kind of like they twisted it a few times. Like it was hilarious.
Like Marco Polo over here.
Rocky was coming down while it was going up. They got
played
twisted.
didn't he really? Was
No.
that- I was like, I didn't catch that. They played the entire song "We Are the Champions." The entire song. That's how long it took for it to go up into its resting place. Really, really cool moment. And then the best part of it all, an emotional Denver Nuggets team. There was one point where the Jumbotron just fixed on Jokic. And the team's like high-fiving themselves. They're hugging. Their guys are talking. They're laughing. And for about 10 or 15 seconds, Jokic just looks at the banner with tears in his eyes, welled up, just looking at it, not saying anything, not interacting, just kind of who knows what he was reflecting on. And I remember sitting at that moment going, oh, we're doing it. Like, we're doing it again. This really is the golden era. That look, I don't know how to describe it, but that look in his eye just had me like, this means so much to him.
And they tried to say, does he care?
Does he care, man?
Does he really love basketball? Does he want to be here? Like, tears in his eyes because he brought that to this city. They waited so long for just that moment, and he brought it there. So I'm glad that, people got to capture that and see what it truly means.
I thought I was the only one that could see the heart of a man through his eyes.
I looked into his eyes tonight, man. It was hard how teary they
I
were.
saw the same thing. I saw an impassioned. As the saying goes, still waters run deep. Jokic is a very stoic individual. Jokic is a person that is so deeply uninterested by the circus atmosphere that is the NBA. He is completely unwilling to play into the nonsense. And basketball means everything to him in a way that is not really understandable by a lot of people in this country. I think that there's something about his national identity, the pride of the part of the world he comes from, which is often very maligned, and there is something so deep about the way that they play basketball and what basketball means to them. And you see in big moments Jokic erupt with emotion because it's there the whole time. It's just not for you, Kendrick Perkins. He's not interested in what you think. It's not about that. And so it's like when Jokic is so pure, and this is why we love him, because his emotions are pure.
Yeah.
And like to see that, I mean, I thought the same thing. I'm like, should I like quit everything else I'm doing in my life and just like follow Jokic like Forrest Gump? I might do it.
I kind of did, and it worked out. So full send. I will say this: they also honored themselves, the fans, and the game and the rings with how they played on the floor. And there's a really great quote from Malone pregame. He said, "With our success comes a responsibility to go out there and play to a standard of excellence. A responsibility, not a goal,
Love it.
not our desire. What we owe ourselves, each other, the fans, and
City
the game
Denver.
of basketball as
Yep.
defending champs." And I think that is probably how I would articulate the way they played tonight. They took that responsibility on.
I remember watching the 2014 Spurs dismantle the Miami Heat. And the thing about it is that the Heat had all of this talent, and it was rendered useless because of how connected the Spurs were. And when I watch this Nuggets play, I've always said if the Nuggets are going to win a title, they're going to have to remind me of the 2014 Spurs. I think in a lot of ways they did. I mean, they were very much a connected team. But this team seems even more connected and more like that. And that's why it was so rewarding, is just to see, you use the word purity. It really does feel that way. I mean, you know, that's a razor's edge to walk to try to talk about these things. I don't want to use coded language, but it really is about the entire team and the entire experience of like, no, there is something pure that wasn't just happened really, really quickly. It happened over a long period of time where they galvanized and came together. Do you have the tweet I just sent you, Kale?
Tweet? I have the picture.
The picture. It's yeah.
Yep. Bring it up right now.
Somebody sent it to me. This is Jokic's teary-eyed, and when they had it on him for 10, 15 seconds, he didn't like look at everybody else. Like Michael Porter's talking to some people and this or that. Like, he didn't move. He just like looked, you know, with those tears in his eyes. And I was just like, my God, man, that's going to be an image etched in my brain forever.
Bro, tell me that's not a stained glass window someday.
It does actually look
I mean, I think we do
it
have a
actually is art. It is the like looking up.
We do have a window to replace somewhere in this bar. I
That's
think. So
true.
if
We
you
should
guys
make a
wanna-
St. Nicholas
Yeah.
one. A little gold thing
my
around
God,
his
dude.
head, the little halo.
Oh my God.
They let Vic Lombardi MC it, which I just love. There was I wondered, I was like, it's going to be Kyle Speller. They're going to try to hide Vic because he stirred the pot. Instead, he goes right out there and starts shooting from the hip. I don't even remember. He had one line. Do you guys remember? He had a line right off the bat where I was like, oh, he's not running from this. He's just coming. Or he said something about like a sweep or something like that. And you're like, oh, Jesus, man.
Yep.
I love it.
No, I really do love that. Like, he was the face of it all. So it's
Yeah.
like, you brought this guy back. You know, like, they could have ran from that, but they're not. And then also, he didn't run from it. He's still going to say whatever he wants, and that's the thing about Vic. Like, that's what makes him a legend. He's speaking his mind. He's
So
saying
true.
what he wants, and he's standing on business
He
every
doubles
single time. So I love that.
So true.
The best Vic is, remember, he didn't shoot the free throw. Instead, he made it a three and then made it
And
with
banked
the
it in.
in.
Banked
That's like
it in.
such a. He's like, no, we got to raise the stakes.
I wish I had 1% of Vic Lombardi's confidence.
Yeah.
Oh, what I
Smuggness.
would do. I'd
It's
be a
actually
monster.
smuggness.
Yeah.
I would be a monster.
Yeah, you would be a true monster. Harrison is currently talking with Nikola Jokic, so we'll wait for him. Let's hit super chats. I hear we have a few.
Oh man, what a treat! We will need the chat back up, Kale. I don't know if that's.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we will need the.
It'll show on the
Oh, that's right, Kale. I almost forgot how this works. All right, here we go. We're back at it. Beast 46. Joker will be MVP again. 1-0, baby.
I'll tell you what, that feels like a good bet right now.
No, man, he has the lead.
I'm saying like it's hilarious. You know, if you just look at this on its own in a vacuum, one game in, like how can these guys be this confident? This looks exactly like it did last year. Like it already, like it's a continuation. Like this is not the first game of the season. This is just another chapter in the book.
Yeah.
I know.
Speaking of vacuums, like, is that what comes after a sweep?
God, everyone's
My God.
everyone's in mid-season form.
How are
today.
we all cooking already?
$100 super
Oh,
Well,
Matthew,
Matthew
well,
won.
$99.99.
$100 US.
Thank you, man.
Let's
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Trying to send us to Paris next summer.
And fellas, it goes to a good cause. If you guys feel the need to donate this to LeBron's second retirement, I fully understand.
man.
It's
no
hard.
more
It's
fighting.
hard to not make the Nuggets
Let's
the second
go.
story here. You know,
It really is. It's really
very
hard.
hard.
So dumb.
If the Lakers can just talk about it one more time.
The face that guy gives when he says it's a, you know.
What else do we got, Kale? Brad Arnholt, Jokic came early.
Wow, this was an early Oakmas.
He's going to do better around then.
Can you imagine? Yeah, actually, this is Jokic coasting, Jokic will take it to another level.
We just have to call it Goatmas at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
Drippington, and you got it. I hope if you're watching YouTube, please look at the profile picture. I don't.
That surprised me, Drippington.
Drippington. Podcast listeners are missing out. 100% triple double watch. Yeah,
Hell
we barely
yeah.
talked about it. Plus 15 triple double light work. You know, what's there to talk about? He's
I
the
can't
best.
believe we didn't bet on a triple double. We only did the double double.
Oh, we're such losers.
We're such
So
cowards.
soft, dude. So soft.
CJ Jones. I think Jokic might be the Lakers' Tata.
You remember the daughter
who's
was
your
wearing the
Tata?
Tata
Who's your
shirt?
Tata? I love Tata.
Yeah, that's great.
Donnie, $20. Need MPJ to consistently follow through on his shot. I kind of agree with that. And stop shooting like Curry. I don't care if you train like Curry. Curry is an op. All right, sure. Early notes. Screw it.
Well, Mike's he went 2 for 9 tonight. That just means he's going to go like 7 for 9 next game.
I'm just fairly confident he knows how to shoot.
Yeah.
Maury coming out of retirement, as there has been such speculation that multiple Denver Nuggets are the Lakers' daddy.
so true, man.
Yeah. Did you guys watch Maury growing up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
My favorite part, every single episode, is when they would say you are not the father. The guy is like pop locking on the stage. The girl runs to the back. She jumps on the nastiest couch ever. It looks like this. Snot on the couch. And she just is beyond herself. She can't believe that they came out with those results.
Maury corner.
You are the daddy.
with Dev.
You
What else do
are
we got,
the
Kale?
daddy.
What else do we got? The Great Brows. Lakers fans owe me money. Jokic's going to get another MVP. Maul is going to be an all-star.
I love it. All true.
All true.
Well, all of that was true.
Poke one hole in that.
David East.
Hey!
Old friend David East. The Nuggets look unbothered by LA, and I can't get enough of it. 10 out of 10.
I know, no notes. Not one note.
That one.
It's a fact. It's a fact. What else do we got? Shaban Kellen. Great conversation to start the season.
Thank you.
All the Nuggets are good. Some conversations are more effective than others, fellas. What can we say? What can we say? What else do we got? 55555.
Oh,
Ish.
our man.
He's back.
Oh, he's back.
Let Faku grow. By the way, what kind of wins are we counting this year? Just glorious ones, brother. Just
So true,
Joker
man.
plus Blue Arrow plus Curious Mike plus Silver Surfer plus is that KCP Young Pope plus Brown plus
P. Watt.
P Watt.
That's a good one. P
Oh
was and a
my
light.
God,
Plus-
man.
Plus Zeke.
Piano
Piano
Man.
Man. I
Zeke.
love it, dude. Look
You
at
guys
that.
are crushing it. You guys are crushing
Equals
it.
Lakers
Lakers daddy. Oh, that was 5555. I don't know what I was expecting. He's a legend.
A legend.
That's what he does. It's just Jordan 420-69. Nice. I am convinced we are shattering the 57 wins record. Let's go.
Shattering.
We're on well on the way.
It's a good start.
We are on pace.
We
They
are on pace. Currently
Beast
on pace for
46.
83 wins.
Again, Joker looking a lot like Bowser. I really like
I
that.
think that's a reference to Dev's shirt.
Oh, yeah. Dev does look awesome. I can't wear orange like that.
Or Bowser.
Bowser's such a good name for that, you know?
Bowser. Yeah, sure. Gordon Glazner. Honey, I shrank the Lakers. Nikola Jokic. Gordon's the best. I did a pod with Gordon over the weekend. What a treat.
What a treat,
What a
man.
treat. Make sure you're checking out Serbian Corner on the Saturdays when you're done with us in the weekday shows. What else do we got?
Serbian
Kel?
Corner, it's really like almost like the chat in real life. You know, it's like chat roundtable. We might have to rebrand
Miroslav's
it, to be
done the
honest.
coolest thing with it, just having all the regulars on.
Super
and
cool.
Really cool for me to meet both Daniel and Gordon this weekend. Gerardo E., I used to pray for times like these.
Brother, we all did. Here, real quick, just to interject, we did mention this at the beginning, but you know, if you're a Denver person like I am and of my age, the Elway arc is sort of the standard arc. That's the thing you think about. And it was a story of struggle that ended with the perfect storybook ending. And I always thought Dirk Nowitzki had a very similar type run, and you always thought like that's the best. It is a little bit weird that this first championship came in the middle, but there is this sense of, but that's because it's not over. This isn't the end.
That's right.
It actually is just the
That's right.
beginning of this era, and it really does feel that way, and that's why it's so cool.
What else do we got? Super producer Kale, also known as Special K. What do you guys like that?
No, I don't like that at
cool.
all.
All right, go back to the workshop. Braves and Nuggets fan here. Acuna Jr. and Jamal both tore ACLs in 2021. Acuna wins the MVP this season. 2 years post ACL. Great things this year from all. Sure.
Sure. I
That's
can't
for you.
sound- yeah, that was for
Deej,
you, and I
that was for
appreciate it.
you, and you paid for
Yeah, I
it.
love it, man.
Hakuna Matata.
That's right. I think I said his name wrong, by the way. So, James Jimmy. Vogt looks like a white Pedro Pascal. I'm done, by the way. I'm good. You guys, everything's fine. From
Great
my
actor. I like him a lot.
Oh, and he says it's from his wife, Courtney, with her mile high idea of the night. Is that a thing? Did you just give yourself your own segment?
idea
Of the night, I like that.
Fuck yeah.
Enough with the hot box and hot takes. Time for the mile high
It's the
idea.
mustache, man, honestly. It's just the mustache.
I'll take it, man. I don't care what it
We
is.
haven't decided whether or not we need to add it to the avatar to really sell it in.
Ray Shavaria. The rotation was only returners, champions. I think Mike Malone had intention behind that. Champions set the tone for the year. Hashtag Lakers Daddy. Hashtag
Yo,
champs.
hold on a second. Let's examine this. We were surprised Peyton Watson played tonight, not Justin Holiday.
Who won last year?
I like this theory. Of, you know what? We're rolling tonight with the guys. I will say during the ring ceremony, and it's sad, but it's just the way it works. The guys who weren't on the team last year have to kind of go to the side, like they, you know, and they're clapping on it. But it's what it is. But I like this theory, man. I'm with it. Maybe that's what it was.
Man, we're so good at the show. The chat's good at the show. Unbelievable. William Mitchell. So about
during a Warriors game, he's super chatting.
Super chat from a Warriors fan. So about that, AD will take 6 threes a game offense. What is Darvin Ham thinking?
It's possible that was not accurate.
Yeah, it may have been a
By the
misfire.
way, Jokic though firing him 3 of 5, 5 threes.
I know that actually is the big takeaway we didn't get into.
We didn't get to.
Sheben Kellen. Shaban. Hot take.
Shaban for sure.
Yeah, cool. Nuggets bench will finish the season as top 5 bench, and CB will be in the running for 6th man of the year.
Whoa, we are so,
you know what?
We are so
Hot
box and hot take it.
We're running out of them.
They're going undefeated.
That's so true. If they are a top 5 bench unit, oh my god, we're talking 65, 70 wins.
Dude, the
CB for
Diamondbacks
6
won.
man is
the Diamondbacks won.
Oh, snakes alive, baby. All
Oh, my
City
goodness.
going to the World Series. Shout out PHNX. Shout out PHNX. Gordon Glazner. Lakers are the team of nostalgia and sad decline. It's the Nuggets world now, the golden age.
Let's go, baby.
Golden
Team of the
age.
past,
I love
baby.
that.
The team of the
70,
past.
70 bucks.
You
That's
son of a
big one.
biscuit, Gordon. You off-brand commenter.
I know. It's team
Golden
of the
age is
past
just
and it's
Canadian
golden era.
for golden era.
Come on,
It's just
Gordon.
Canadian for golden era.
Come on, Gordon.
It's mostly the same language, but there's some
Joe
differences.
Arrow says, was there tonight? Who's your daddy chant went hard, and I must have been a great conversation between Braun and AD.
I love it. I love that we're right back into our height of shit talking.
Oh, yeah.
Game 1 into the them scheduling the Lakers for the Nuggets this night was just was such a gift, such a treat.
Sets the tone for the year.
Super chats keep rolling in. Funky Puma. Ball Arena was a religious experience
It
tonight.
really was. It really was, man.
Some call it church.
It felt like church. I'm telling you, it felt like church tonight.
And they was
Yeah,
preaching.
it did, 'cause I
They
wasn't there.
Preaching.
You're gonna burn the moment you walk through those doors.
You know what, Eric? Upgraded to an A. You're crushing it.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's it.
That's it, baby. We got through the super chats.
Anything else here from the game? We didn't talk about Jokic's threes.
That matters.
It does matter that he has taken some threes. I mean, look, man. He took 22 shots tonight, by the way.
Dude, he was in maybe a way I've never seen before. It was no. There's the right play, and then there's I am going to score on AD. I don't think I've seen it before like this.
Would Jokic clearly have been the king of the game tonight? If we do a game ball, would he clearly be the game ball guy? I mean,
What? The triple-double guy that embarrassed the guy?
I'm just saying it's that thing where
In
he's
front of
always
his family.
he would get everyone.
You
But
could do KCP or AG, but
KCP, man, 20 points is more of an outlier than Jokic getting a
KCP's
29-point triple-double.
He had back-to-back steals.
He did.
I was like, whoa, this
Do you know,
guy's
do you know
everywhere.
why? I bet steals. I bet
that
steals.
why?
KCP
I told you guys.
1.5. Do you remember?
Swipe well Pope. I told you.
Plus 170. I hit that one.
He
so.
had back-to-back. But yeah, I mean, one thing that we could talk about, like you talked about your banner hanging experience. Me, Eric, Vogt, we're of the people. You know, we're of the people. So we came down to DNVR and we got to watch the banner. And I mean, we had a great crowd. This felt like a playoff, type atmosphere that hopefully we just continue to have throughout the year, where everybody's coming in, a lot of the usuals. There was a lot of new people that were in, and you could just tell that, like, really, DNVR is the mecca of it all. You could tell when people walk in, they're like, have their cameras out.
Yeah.
They're ready to see, and be a part of it. I think the walls, everybody wants to get the walls because it shows that you are here.
Yeah, man.
But it was just great to just have everybody in the same place. If you didn't go down to the arena, this was as close as it got to it. And it's just love all around. So I love that.
It is, and like that's the greatest thing is that like you can come here all the time. Like there's going to be an Avs game, a Nuggets game, all winter long. Like this is a place to come to just like be with people that are like-minded, that are interested in the Denver Nuggets, that are watching the same thing, cheering at the same time, like having a shared experience like all the time. It's great. Like it honestly makes me sad for the previous state Denver found itself in without a place to call home for the Denver Nuggets
and the Avs in the same night.
And
I mean, what a treat,
it's
dude.
just it's so cool, and honestly, it's like something I'm like so supremely proud of with everything that we've done. Is like we've given Denver sports a home.
And since we're stretching, boys, lest you thought I'd get through this full hour without a Michael Porter Jr. take.
All right, you got one?
Oh my God.
I can't wait to see where this goes.
Wasn't that great shooting tonight? Coming off the ankle, didn't get to play in preseason. Where's the conditioning at? Who closed the game tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Mike closed.
Oh, yeah.
And who closed the game well tonight?
Mike closed it well.
Michael Closer Jr. So even on a weeknight, every one of those 5 had their moments. And I said this is the biggest box for Mike to check this year. Take the conversation out of Malone's hands. Who closes tonight? Not a discussion. It's me. I'm glad Mike closed. He played well. Yeah, I got one off.
You got one off, baby.
Yeah.
Why not? Harrison's on his way, by the way, I'm told.
Peggy, tuck in your shirts. We're back, baby.
Let's go.
What does tuck mean?
I don't know, but it feels provocative.
It does.
It gets the people
Gets the
talking.
people. Everyone tuck in your shirts.
When you're tucking your shirt, though, it means that you mean business.
It's
That's
business
true.
time.
Especially, I gotta say, especially as a white fella. That's a real white fella
Oh
move.
man!
Tucked in shirt.
If somebody tucks in their shirt and says something like "This is horseshit,"
Yeah.
oh my,
Hands on
I'm
the
leaving.
hips.
I am leaving wherever we're at. It's about to get crazy.
Hands on the hips like this.
Or if they like, I want to talk to a manager. They tuck their shirt in. I am out of there.
The finger comes out.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot of finger.
You don't want
pointing.
that smoke. Oh, Freddie, love the Nuggets and love DNVR. Tonight could not have gotten better. I agree.
Really don't know if it could have gone better.
I
Dude,
agree.
this feels like we're just an extended version of the championship.
I know.
Like we are in full afterglow mode.
You also who was like not that impressive tonight? Austin Reeves.
I know.
You know, it's kind of funny, like all the hype, and he gets the contract and this or that, and you're like, it's the same guy. He just tries to draw fouls.
Dude, you know what a letdown it's going to be for us when we play like the Pistons? We come out, we're like, yeah, Pistons. You thought you had some, yeah, whatever. It was a good day.
Kind of like their young core. But
It's like,
a good win.
Kid Cunningham, pretty good game.
yeah.
Do you guys want to get reckless at all about the Lakers? As you have a take about them just as a team, or are you completely writing them off as a threat after game
That
one?
was my reckless take, is I buried them with no uncertain language.
Eliminating them just right away. What about this? We had Josh Kroenke on the show
That's right.
yesterday. We haven't really broke it down. Dev, I don't know if you watched or not. Did you watch it?
I did.
Okay, I was through it to him, and then I was like, hold
You
on a
have
second.
to watch. The owner came in. You
Yeah.
know, like that's a big deal, and he brought Larry O'B. But I honestly loved that. One, I'll give you guys credit. You guys asked him some very tough questions that a lot of people would not ask him. You get a billionaire in here, you start to act a little bit different. He could get you knocked off. You know what I mean? But you guys you guys got to ask him the questions, and I love that he did not run from those questions. He answered. You know, it might not be the answer that you want right there. But at least he answered it, and he didn't shy away from those questions.
I'm very impressed by Josh, man. Very impressed by him meaning the questions, coming in here, doing it live. Like, you guys, most people won't do a live.
What's that sound?
Oh yeah, the
Alive
live part
for an hour.
'Cause it's like,
Anything
no,
could
take
happen.
that out. Take that out.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he could have did that.
He did it.
So yeah, I love that show, honestly, and I love that D-Line was D-Line.
Yeah.
In that show, he was asking.
What do you
them-
think he was going to be?
No, people change up in front of
Yeah.
I
different
can't.
type of
I'm
people.
too old.
He could have gone
He's-
Eric.
But he's also bigger than a celebrity. Like I've seen people with just celebrities, you know, change up. Like he's bigger than that, you know. So
No,
like,
I'm 45 years old, man. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Can you do me that favor over there and kill that fan real quick as we bring Harrison in so we could hear him? Harrison is at Ball Arena. He just talked with Michael Malone, Nikola Jokic, and some other player I don't know yet.
I can't hear you guys. Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you.
Harrison,
There we
how
go.
was Banner Night for
As we
you?
said, nothing.
Man, Banner Night was kind of perfect. I feel like it was perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ceremony was awesome. I felt like the Nuggets did a great job with it. Vic Lombardi, Mr. Denver, killed it on the mic.
Yeah.
The crowd was incredible, really the whole night, but especially during that banner ceremony. I mean, you were here, Adam. You could feel it. Like, it was a special atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then the game went great. I mean, Nuggets starters came out and dominated and let their foot off the gas a little bit in the third quarter. You know, the bench was the bench, but I mean, overall, like, close to a perfect night, I feel like.
Agreed.
Yeah. We gave a spicy take just because we were having fun. Do you have a spicy take after one game that you want to just recklessly throw into the internet?
I don't think the Rui adjustment's going to work in a month.
Dude, that's reckless. You take that back.
It is funny. Yoke did miss some bunnies, but you can't say that it was working. All right, take us inside the locker room. I'm very curious for these podiums.
Yeah, well, we talked to Michael Malone first, and he was talking about the banner getting raised, getting his ring, and he said he was thinking about a lot of things during those moments. He was thinking back to last season, just the playoff run. He's thinking about his dad, but most of all, he was just kind of excited for things to get underway, and he shouted out Michael Porter tonight. Michael Malone did. Malone said, "Michael Porter, I'm so proud of him. He had 12 rebounds." And then Michael Malone said, quote, "We don't sign specialists around here. Michael is a complete basketball player."
Dude, the Progenda is having a night.
He didn't even play well. Let's go.
He didn't play well at all.
Let's go.
That's incredible, man. Was there a rainbow of cups that kind of like appeared above him?
And people were dancing beneath it.
No. I almost stood up and just started clapping, though.
Yeah.
I almost did that.
Good thing Vogt wasn't there. He might have done it.
Yeah, that's for the best, I think.
All right, what else?
Michael Malone was talking about just, the Nuggets Lakers narrative. He said, and if this was a statement win, he said, "There's no statement win in the first game of the season. Good win for us, but we're not going to make much of it." And that was definitely the tone in the Nuggets locker room and with Nikola Jokic, who I'll get to as well. Michael Malone was talking about, the second half. He went back to Nikola a few minutes earlier than he normally would in that fourth quarter. Michael Malone said, quote, "I just want to get our horse back in there."
Let's go.
That's a good one. He's too good at this.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the last thing I got from Malone, this was interesting. Unprompted, he called out Julian Strawther. Not really called him out, but he mentioned Julian Strawther. He said, "I was hoping to get Julian in the game. I told him after the game he's part of our future." He said Julian's going to be out there at some point.
I love it. I love
Playing all the hits of night one. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
You're going to be a part of our future.
By the way, I did get a little cherry on top, though. Little picket, little booty ball, one booty ball possession. Drained it like, hey, you know what? All right.
Adam was hyped.
I was very hyped, man.
Game was put to bed.
Arguably the prettiest bucket of the night, but okay.
Very arguably.
Very arguably. All right, what else?
Many would argue.
Let's get to what Nikola Jokic had to say. Came to the podium very late, as I'm sure you guys noticed.
He's got to get his workout
late.
in.
He got to get his workout in, got to put on the suit, do a couple other interviews. Then he came in. He said, "I thought we controlled the game the whole time, except for in the second half a little bit." But I got the sense that he was pretty happy with just how his team played opening night one of the season. He was talking about, the pregame ceremony and stuff. And he was thinking back to the video that the Nuggets played in Ball Arena. And part of the video was a compilation of all Nuggets fans just reacting from their home, from bars, wherever they were reacting to Nuggets winning the championship. And Yoke said, "I think it's amazing to see the happiness, the joy of the people who are supporting us. It's a really amazing sensation," he said.
Guys, what is going on?
Don't pinch me if we're dreaming, bro. Just don't
How is
do
everything so perfect? That's amazing. That's amazing.
It was amazing. And then he was talking about his emotions when the Nuggets were raising the banner. He said, the first thing he said was, "I miss the guys that are not with us anymore." The Jeffs, the Ishes, probably the Davons.
Yeah,
but then he said,
perfect thing.
but as a group, we're going to be remembered for a long time. We're going to be remembered as champions. I think that's a really nice moment in life.
I do think that's a nice moment.
I think it's nice too.
That was a nice moment.
I
in my
liked
life,
it.
To be
It's
honest
nice for
with you.
me.
To be remembered as a champion.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then he was asked about holding Anthony Davis to, I don't know if you guys saw, Anthony Davis scored 0 second half points. I don't know if you've talked about that yet.
We might have
It
mentioned
came
it.
up.
All right, well, we can talk about it some more. Yoke said, look, AD's a really talented player. He's a lob threat. He can play in the pocket. He can play off the dribble. He can post up. It's really hard to stop him. It's hard, though, when you play 1 against 2. So I've got to thank my teammates for helping me out on him in the second half.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Love it.
Yeah. That's all I've got from the podium. I was in the locker room for a little bit tonight. I just a couple notes there. Michael Porter Jr., lover of basketball, requested the Suns-Warriors game get put on in the locker room.
Cool.
That's a note. Another note, I don't know if there's been any pictures of it, but Zeke Najee's outfit tonight, it's obvious he just got paid $32 million.
Let's go! Talk your shit, Zeke.
I love it.
It was like a head to toe Gucci ensemble.
Let's
All
go.
right,
Yeah,
okay.
Zeke.
DeAndre Jordan said MPJ has some competition for flashiest dresser now.
Oh yeah.
Damn. Right.
What an evolution. The cards are always right.
The cards are always
Unbelievable.
right.
Unbelievable.
That's a new day for Zeke, baby.
It's the new day.
And then I did see Michael Malone talking to Justin Holiday also. I don't know exactly what they were talking about, but we were, just suspecting it was probably about him not being in the rotation and, maybe some plans to go to him, soon here.
Says the exact same thing. Copy paste from Julian.
Yeah.
Listen, you're going to play this year, and I tried to get you out there.
Wind, awesome job tonight. What an incredible night to be at Ball Arena. I mean, they run together a lot of these nights, covering these games year after year, but there are a handful that just stick out. And I know for me personally, and I imagine it's true for you, this one's not gonna blend together with the rest.
No, for sure. I mean, this is up there at the top, with Game 1 of the Lakers, Game 5 of the Heat, the closeout games over the years. This is in Tier 1. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll get home safe, buddy. Can't wait to see what you cook up on
Good stuff,
DNVR.com. We'll see Harrison tomorrow. Man, I love it. Another hot box and hot takes just came to me. Another one. As he was talking and as Jokic was reflecting on how much he enjoyed the play style tonight, right? Guys made it easy for me. One of our takes we had in the offseason that I just kind of feel more confident than ever is that Jokic loves basketball, but he especially loves it when it's fun. And it's fun to him when everybody's doing the right thing. And I just get a sense that this team does the right thing more effortlessly and more consistently than any other Nuggets team ever. They've galvanized in January of last year. They really galvanized in the playoffs. And I just think that now the basketball, I think there's a good chance it's just going to be more fun for all of them because that is the most fun style to play, especially for a guy like Jokic.
So what I just heard is you said that Jokic is happier than ever.
I just am saying it seems like he might be.
Okay.
I don't see him shooting one shot to start the season.
Not a lot of fits being thrown out there. He seemed pretty comfortable. All right, more super chats. People won't stop.
I mean, what are you going to do?
God.
The vibes are immaculate. Dylan McLeod, do you think the conversation AD and LeBron had was about what to get their daddy for Christmas?
Keep it going, man.
That's a haymaker.
20-piece of super chat, Dylan.
That's
worth every penny. That was
you got
phenomenal.
your money's worth, brother.
A+.
Josh Moore. What about
Dude, all
that
the
ring,
homies.
fellas? The slide-out banner, the movable basketball. It's amazing.
We're gonna have to talk about this on Thursday because we just gotta save something in the tank. But rings are ridiculous, man. Who thinks of this stuff?
Dude,
It's unbelievable. We gotta get the full breakdown. You know what we'll do? We'll do the jersey full breakdown, and then we'll do a palate cleanser with the ring full breakdown. We'll save those for Thursday's show.
Just quickly, I won't be here Thursday.
Oh crap!
Cool.
But the rings are turning into like Boy Scout action rings.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna have a compass and like a
That's so true.
fish scaler.
Fish scaler.
Daniel Lynch, who I podcasted with this weekend on Serbian Corner. My super chat is, way to go DNVR for the Josh Kroenke interview, not shying away from putting a billionaire on the hot seat, but being respectful. Josh was okay too, but he is a billionaire. So
What can you do?
No mercy for them.
Yeah, right.
Big Honey, Dynasty incoming. No one can convince me that there is another NBA team who can stop the Nuggets from repeating.
Yeah. So true.
Mile High Sing. Give Joker the MVP already. He is the GOAT.
All facts.
Is
All
that
facts.
off the table? I'm just saying. Is it off the table?
It's not off the table.
You could even say it's on the table. Mile High Sing again. Was it just me or did MPJ play really stiff?
Wait, what?
I mean,
All right.
Thank
He
you.
played pretty stiff.
Ask the
He shot
question.
really stiff. He
It
shot
was a
really stiff.
question. It was just you.
grade 2 ankle sprain. He definitely was coming back.
All right, hit that outro music. Guys, what a way to start this year.
Sweet Jeebus.
What a
How's
way,
everyone
man.
feeling? We've got some fans. How's everyone feeling?
Oh, hell yeah, some
be
fans
worse.
in the house here. We're going to go hang with them. Everybody that watched and stayed for this entire show, we love you. We appreciate you so much. It's going to be another special year, another special one, and I can't wait for it. Off to a phenomenal start. Think about this. I'll leave you with this one. Think about how happy you are, how great this was. It was the exact opposite for the Lakers. They had all the expectations. They had all of this. They are down bad because they
man.
saw the same thing we did, just in reverse.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wow, that team's way better than us still.
Yeah. I've seen that while watching the Broncos. The other way.
Yeah, we have seen
but
that.
you in this culture, you pay respect to your elders.
Yeah.
You got to know your history.
That's true.
So
Respect.
let's show
Respect.
some respect to the team
To
of the
LeBron
past.
James and the
To
Roman
the team of
Empire.
To the team of the
Baby.
past.
Hit
What
that
a
like
run.
button on the way out.
What a run.
Oh, we got 2 more super chats.
Oh, my gosh.
Andrew Wolf, it's so fun to watch. Here's to the basketball gods choosing to shower us such blessings.
Yeah, we were pious.
That's two.
SW2, one of the best nights at ball ever. Champs dog.
Let's go.
Champions.